you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test. Test.
Test.
Test. Test.
And the 3, deuce.
Hello out there, and welcome to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick, that's Gen X Brian, and Zennial Dean alongside me. And for our third segment, as we alluded to previously, we have been dabbling in perhaps we need to be paying more attention to some newer music. And where better to start than, like some of the top songs of today. So we decided for our third segment, we are going to take the top 5 current songs on the Billboard's charts
As of Thursday, November 21st.
and give them all a listen and see what we think. So we're rating them on a scale of 1 to 10, correct? Is that what we agreed
That is
upon?
correct.
Yep.
That is
Scale
correct.
of 1 to 10, low 1 being not good, 10 being perfect, whatever.
Yep.
Unless you've done different scales that I don't know about.
Yes. So would you like me to announce the songs that are in contention here? Or are we going to go one by one?
I have an erection listening to your voice, so the longer I can keep this, the better life is. So please continue.
Speaking of erections, you might say you're losing control of your dick. And that leads us, to our number 5. Coming in on the number 5 spot of the countdown, we've got Lose Control from Teddy Swims. Now, Teddy Swims, Lose
Number
Control
5.
is at number 5. That's right, Casey. So real quick, before we get started, without saying
Listen
what,
the number.
without saying
number, you say the band.
which one's which, we have 5 artists, 5 songs. How many songs were you guys familiar with of before coming into this?
One.
One. None?
None.
Or one? None. Not a one. Okay. There was only one of these songs I had never heard before today. And I did finally hear it for the first time. But it's not Lose Control. So who wants to start? Lose Control, Teddy Swims.
Okay. I
Or do you want to...
Everyone.
I figured we talk about each one and then give them our rating.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. That's fine.
So we'll talk about each song, kind of give it a thing here. So Teddy Swims, for example, I started listening to him about a year ago when this album first came out. I think it's called I've Tried Everything But Rehab or something like that, or Therapy. That's what I've Tried Everything But Therapy is what the album's called. You guys, have you ever heard of Teddy Swims before?
Yes,
Nope.
He is the one that I've heard.
Okay, so that whole album, if you like this song, that whole album is incredible. And I would almost even go so far as to say this is not one of my favorite songs on that album, but
Really?
I do like it a lot. It's very, very good. But that album is fucking incredible. Like when I first heard it and everything, like my overall opinion of him is he's got this very he's from Atlanta, I think. He's got a very southern twang to his voice. And you could almost, like, if you put it to different music, he would probably work as a country artist even. But I love the whole, he's got like a blues kind of vibe to his music. And I mean, yeah, I love this song. Like I said, that whole album he put out is fantastic, and this song is great. Every song on it's great. So I would say to both of you, if you like this song, if you liked what you heard, absolutely listen to that entire album front to back. It's so good. Yeah. So, but I'll start right out. I gave it a 9. It's a good solid song. I had 8.5 written down as well, only because I was struggling. Like I said, it's not one of my favorite ones on that album, but standing alone, it is still an incredible song. It's catchy. It's got to be the voice. His vocals are incredible. Like the voice talent is there. It's got a good kind of sway to it. Like like I said, it's a bluesy kind of rhythm to it. So, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I'll say an 8.5.
Riz.
It's rizzed up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm happy.
So
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies.
Speaking of, so Hip Dean, keep going. The music of today.
Okay.
You've got the terminology today. We got the music of today. Go.
So this Teddy Swift, or Swims, just Swift. No, it's Taylor's brother. Teddy Swims. I've been hearing this song. I wasn't sure who the guy's name was until recently, but I've been hearing the song since it's been out. I've been here on different radio stations and whatnot, and I have been a huge fan. I've grown to really, really, really enjoy this song. So when I saw it on here at number 5, I was very excited, and then I made some notes here. His voice, I love the voice, like you said, very soulful. The music's catchy and fun. It reminds me a lot of Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got that real throwback blues and soul to it, which I love. And last thing I think, until today when because I just throw them into YouTube and listen to them, you can imagine my surprise when I found out he was white. That's not a joke. I honestly, for this whole time, thought he was an African American fella.
Oh, okay, that's surprising.
So
too. Yeah,
I did not know he was a tatted faced white Southerner. Had no clue. So with that, I gave this song, and it's not just because of this. It would have been since I've been listening to it, because I'm very happy to hear it every time. I give it a 10, especially for newer music right now.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. 10.
Nice. Yeah, of the ones on here, I'm like, this is the one that probably Dean would like the most. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Loved it. Love it. Brian?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I gave it a 7. All the notes here. I mean, it's a soulful voice, kind of a slower vibe, but good. The vocals were good. Good lyrics. Enjoyed the song, and I would certainly go back and listen to more of his music based on that song. So, yeah, but it wasn't my favorite song of the 5, but it was a solid song for me. So, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
It's not surprising that it's a popular song right now. So,
nice.
Before we move on, Nick, again, what was the name of that album? Because, like, I even told Megan this. I would go out and buy the record, like, a vinyl of his. What was
I think it's called I've Tried Everything But Therapy, or Except for Therapy, or something like that. There is an there's the original edition that came out with like 9 songs or 10 songs. And then he put out a version of it that is a double album that still has those same 10 songs, but also more. And then there's remixes. So if you go on like the discography, there's going to be a few versions of it. But yeah, the whole thing's good.
I mean, I'll go to the record store, look for it.
Just think of what your personal mantra. That'll help you remember the title of the album.
Yeah, that's better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so Brian, you left off. Why don't we?
I ain't a quitter. You jive Go ahead. Sorry.
Why don't you? Before since we'll just leave off with you that way, everybody else gets a chance to start. So why don't you give us number 4?
Number 4.
Coming in number 4.
Number 4, Sabrina Carpenter, the song Espresso.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 5.5.
Okay.
I think it was it's a fun vibe, but to me it sounded like a cookie cutter pop type song for me. Fun, upbeat. I can see where it's popular, but it didn't necessarily stand out. One thing I did catch, which I didn't realize, but SNL's had a recurring skit this season with
Can't not hear Domingo.
Yeah. Right. So the girls go out on a bachelor party and this and that, and they sing the song of what happened. I didn't realize they were singing to the tune of Espresso, which Ali pointed out was indeed the case. But so again, it's fine. It's okay. So just a little bit above average for me, 5.5.
Yeah. Did you see that she just played Madison Square Garden the other night? And
No.
she actually, in between songs, was leading into that, and she was talking about some guy that she'd been seeing, and all of a sudden, off the stage in front of the barricade is Marcelo, whatever, who that plays Domingo, and he goes, "Sabrina, I am here," and he was there, and so she brought him up, and like there were
That's
pictures of
great.
her, and he's dressed as Domingo.
That's
And there's
great.
pictures of them backstage where he's like, seductively laying out. He's got his hand on her thigh and stuff, and
That's
she's
funny.
all like curled around him. So they played into the Domingo thing the other night at MSG. That was pretty cool.
That's
so
great.
hats off to her. Very, very well done, Sabrina.
Well, you know what? Based on that alone, I'll move it to a 6. There you go.
Better,
Yeah.
better, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like have heard of Sabrina Carpenter a lot recently. Like she just kind of came out of nowhere, at least in my, the realm of what I have understood. But she's just been a big name here recently. Didn't totally, like you said, didn't really marry that up until I listened to the song. And I'm like, oh, this is the Domingo song, right? Like you said, Brian, a lot of the things I agree with. I thought it was kind of like, fun little wordplay on some of the stuff, and what he can't sleep because he's always thinking about her. That's why it's called espresso. She's the espresso, whatever. That's cute. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay. Reminds me a lot of Ariana Grande. Like it's got strong Ariana Grande vibes specifically. So I mean, whatever. That's pop music in general. Something's working, and other people are gonna, be similar versions of that. But like you said,
Why so
kind of
many people copy this podcast?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and
Mhm.
Sean.
Yep.
Yeah. They
Yep.
did what we
Wait
did.
for our
We
royalties.
see you.
Yeah, we were first. We were before Smartless.
Mhm.
We absolutely were. But no, it was fine, but I gave it a 5. It was just like kind of middle of the road. It is, right? It's catchy. So, you did that. Good job. But yeah, it's yeah, I gave it a 5. I thought it was just so. Not exactly my cup of tea, but a very catchy song. So good enough.
All right.
So,
Mhm.
Dean.
All right. I'll blow through this one quick. Not a fan. It's not my deal. Not my bag.
Sure.
I'm annoyed by this whole generation of singing. I call it whisper singing. It's the wispy voice sounding for girls. They
Sure.
all seem to sound the
Like
same.
I'm kind of cutesy, but I'm lazy about it.
Right.
Like it's kind
And
of
like,
like,
I'm
yeah.
whispering all of my stuff.
Yeah.
It's just an average pop song. It didn't blow me away. The old man of me was annoyed by it. Hell, the 20-year-old in me was annoyed by it.
Yeah.
And they took turns, because they had to change the loop.
It's
But
no
then-
acid bath. That's for sure.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Right, John? Yeah.
But I did ultimately question what the hell am I listening to? What was my ultimate thing? I'm like, okay. I literally, I'll admit that it was the only one that I had a minute left. I'm like, okay, I've heard it.
Right.
I've heard enough.
I did it there.
It was okay, but it was below average.
Yeah.
So I give it a 4.
All right.
All right, Dean, lead us into number 3. Now that we've gone around with that one.
All right, coming in at number 3. Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Okay, so for this one, good vibe. But again, enough with goddamn whisper singing. She's proven that she has a hell of a voice, hell of a range. I get where like maybe some lines you can whisper or sing, but Jesus, man, relax.
That's her style, though.
I know, but it's everybody's style, though. There's a giant gaggle of these girls singing like this.
You say gaggle because it's birds of a feather.
Let's be honest, I'm not that clever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
characters last episode. Thank you.
That's right. It's just generic, but good pop. Compared to the last one, I thought this was a good pop song.
Okay.
Above average, or maybe about average. Again, still not my style. I give it a 5.
Nick?
Okay. I love this song. This song, I I couldn't get it out of my head. I couldn't get it out of my head all day. It's so damn catchy. Dun, 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 dun. The beat of the song is just, it was in there from the time.
Yeah.
So this one, I did not know that I knew it again until she just performed this on SNL like 2 weeks ago. This was one of the ones she performed live. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I recognize this song. And I really like it. Honestly, I really appreciate Billie Eilish. I feel like she's a new Lady Gaga in the way that like
Yeah.
she is not bound to any
She's
style of music. I have heard like maybe 5 or 6 different songs from her, and they're all fucking different. Every single one sounds like they could be by a different artist. And so I really like that. I have a lot of respect for her for that, and I like that she kind of just does whatever she wants to do and what she likes. And like Dean said, she's an incredible vocalist. We've heard that
Yeah.
before.
I've heard her just
I
belt out some shit.
Yeah. Of the songs I've ever heard by her, though, this one's probably my favorite. I just really like the vibe of it. I really like the sound of it, and I gave it a 9. I couldn't get it out of my head all day. It's been in my head the entire day from the first. I listened to it at like 8 a.m. when I started going through the
I cannot wait
songs,
to be in your head.
and I couldn't get it out of there. I loved it. I loved it. And all day long, I'm like, man, I really fucking like that song. I really like that song. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 9. I really, really like that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. This is my second favorite of the 5. So I gave this an 8.
Mine too. Yep.
I just Billie Eilish in general. I don't seek out new artists enough, but every time I hear her perform, now she's been on SNL a couple times.
Yes.
I think each
And
season,
she's
the last
hosted.
couple of seasons.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's hosted and been musical guest and done the double duty, all that stuff.
talented on both rights, of course. But yeah, every time I hear her sing, it just seems like it's seamless to her. Very flawless vocals. She has incredible range, like you say. I mean, I understand your point with the soft singing and everything, but she just does it well, in my opinion. So
He does. Well, the only reason I kind of put it that way, I heard this song first. When I went down, I started in one and listened down.
Okay.
So I heard this song first. So my annoyance was more for the other song because I heard
It's happening again.
What's that?
yeah,
It's happening again. Someone else is whispering.
Right. But I heard
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, and I've heard her sing that way before. And like Brian said, she does it so well, and she does it better than almost anybody going right now. So that's my argument for that.
yeah. But yeah, enjoyable song. Yeah, everything you said. Nice 5, great vocals, good lyrics. Yeah, 8 for me.
Nice.
All right.
Am I leading in the next one then? So,
Yes,
or
sir.
no.
Yep,
We leave off
you're
with
right.
you? Yeah. Okay. Number 2, we have "Die with a Smile" by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. This is the one and only song I had never heard before today. I have heard I was listening to another podcast not that long ago, and they were talking about like you never think it's coming for you, like age, that like you're never, like whatever. But they were talking the one day, and they were like, "Do you guys know what like one of the most popular songs across all streaming platforms is right now? This 'Die with a Smile' song." And all 3 of them were like, "I've never heard of this song. I had no idea that Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga had a song together." It's good though. I liked it. I feel like you put those talents together, right? You're gonna have good performances. They're both good singers. They're both interesting. They're both, whatever. I don't know, but it was a little lackluster. I wasn't really taken with it. Again, good vocal performances. It's a fine sounding song to the ear. Certainly not bad. I enjoyed it, but it didn't really wow me in any way. It just kind of okay. There's a song by 2 of them together, and I gave it a 6. It really just kind of yeah. It like I said, that's all I can say about it. They're solid singers, and I like both of them as artists, but not really blown away by it. So,
Yeah,
Brian.
I'm on the same line with you. Yeah, I gave it a 7. Like you said, it's 2 of the 2 amazing vocalists in their own right, individually. They sound great together singing, no question. But yeah, very, very dramatic. And Allie and I actually listened to the 5 songs together. She was interested to listen with me, and we were both surprised that it seemed like this would be a song that would be in the Joker 2 soundtrack, Die with a Smile, but it wasn't.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Maybe it
That
was
makes
something
sense.
she developed for it and didn't make it to the movie and decided to do it outside that. I don't know. But the title seemed like it would be from Joker 2, but it was
Yeah.
not. So, but
I was.
compared to, go ahead.
Did you listen on Apple Music? You
Yes.
say? Were you
Mhm.
thrown off by the cover art? Because I was a little bit.
Yeah, they're both like in a Western, like a 70s
Yeah.
looking Western
Well,
I
outfit
don't.
or
I'll
something.
explain that when it's my turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little.
Yeah.
No, it didn't affect my listening. It's not doesn't affect my score, but it's just an added note. A little thrown off by the imagery of the
Yeah,
of the.
it's a little
I'm not sure what's going on there.
And compared to the other songs as well, this one, and a lot of the other songs were very, had more of a positive and easygoing vibe. And this one just
Mhm.
had a different vibe. So that probably threw off my rating as well because it just didn't hit as, as it wasn't as fun to listen to as the other songs for me. So that's what got
Sure.
it a little bit lower rating as well. So, Dean, would you kindly explain the cover art, please,
Well,
sir?
the cover art probably comes from the video. Like I said, I watched these on YouTube, and the video
Oh.
is them doing like a 1950s stage act of like from like a country western stage act, and
Okay.
he is dressed as like a 1940s 50s country music artist, and so is she. It's a weird early vibe that doesn't match the song. I
Mhm.
don't know why they chose this, but they did. So that cover art is from the music video.
Okay.
And I know, mainly because I don't listen to a lot of new music, and I'm very aware of this, but it always takes me by, surprise just how goddamn good Bruno Mars' voice is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, just amazing. And Lady Gaga is just the same,
Hmm.
fantastic voice. I love the lyrics. I love the vibe of it. Like I said, it is a good throwback to old duets. You don't hear good just collaboration duets anymore like you used to, right? And one of my notes here, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton would be
Mhm.
proud of this. It is a throwback to that sort of feel and maybe that's what they were going for. You know what I mean?
Probably. Yeah.
Just thinking now, Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton being country western singers back in the day, maybe that's what they were, maybe that's the feel that they had. I'm not saying that it sounded country western, but it definitely had that old school duet feel.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit. I like the style. I like, it wouldn't be something I would reach out for all the time, but I give it a 7.
Mm.
Okay.
It's my second
Okay.
favorite.
Nice.
All right.
But probably mainly because how goddamn good Bruno Mars' voice is.
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot to do with that number.
Sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. Then lead us into number 1 there.
The
Casey?
number one song this week.
Coming in at number 1, Billboard Top 100. We have, can't believe I'm going to say that in this voice,
Can't wait to hear. Yeah.
Bar Song by Shaboozey.
I couldn't wait to hear Casey Kasem say Shaboozey. Yeah.
Shaboozey. Fucking Shaboozey. What the fuck is Shaboozey? I was not expecting a country song, but I got one.
You did.
I didn't know that rap country collaboration, whatever you want to call it, was a thing, but it is.
Oh, it started a while ago. Lil Nas X, I feel like, really said it, and it's a thing.
I would call this song, without just being straight out mean, slightly below average. Not my deal, not my style, not even something that I would turn it off if it came back on. I give it a 2. I don't understand what I was listening to, and I refuse to know anything else about it.
All right. Wow. Yeah, there you
go. He gets 2.
All righty. Is it my turn?
Yeah, yeah.
Go
it is.
ahead.
All right.
Go right
Well,
ahead.
Talk about
so
boozy.
we're going. I'm swinging so hard the other way. Yeah. This has been the song of the summer. This is like I fucking love this song. The first time I ever heard it, I was like, there is no reason that I of all people should like this song because I really hate country
Correct.
music. But
Correct.
fuck, I love this song. I fucking love. I listen to it probably at least 2 to 3 times a week, every single week. I just turn it on. I just want to hear it. I need it. I need it. It's like I
Are you ripping
fucking
me?
no. I love this song. I've been like, yeah, this song. I think I first heard it like the beginning of the summer when it first started popping off, and I'm like, it's a interesting because I'm like, it's interesting to hear his voice with that music and it's a very country song. It's a very, and I'm like, there's really no reason I should like this, but fuck, like it just tickles all the happy parts of my brain. Like I absolutely love it. And yeah, we all love it. Well, actually, Robin hates it, but me and the kids like fucking blare this in the car, like sing it out loud. We fucking love this song.
I like to
So
find many ways to reasons not to like your wife, but there's one I do. I like
Yeah.
her for this reason.
So much so that like earlier a few months back, I think I went and like listened to his whole album because I'm like I like the song so much. I want to hear what is his like is this a one-off? Like does he how does it go? He is a very country artist. Like it is his album is country. And I did not like any song on it as much as I like this one. It was fine. It was a fine album, but yeah, this song is definitely where it hits. And it's a fucking 9.5, like easy. Fucking
Wow.
I only didn't give it a 10 because it's like not like the most like it doesn't blow my mind in some like spectacular way where I'm like, I've never heard anything. But in some ways I haven't really ever heard anything like it. But yeah,
There's
man,
a reason.
I'm
There's
a
a reason.
huge fan of the song. When you first sent over the list, I was like, oh, my song is a fucking #1, like the Shabuzi. So yeah, yeah, 9.5. Like fucking love it. It's absolutely #1 on my list. But Brian, thoughts on Shabuzi? We got a 2 and we got a 9.5. Where do you come down on it?
I'm closer with Nick on this one. So it was my favorite of the 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a fun song. It's just a fucking fun song. It's a good drinking
What is
song.
going on
It's
here?
a good fucking
it's just
drinking
fun.
song. Yeah.
It was fun. So I'm not a big country fan either per se, but the country I like the classic country.
USA.
And of the newer stuff, it's more I just like the fun hanging out party type stuff.
Yeah,
And it definitely had that vibe. It was just catchy.
And I really
it was
like
fun.
his voice too.
Yeah.
Like I like it. It's just he's got a good voice too for it.
Yeah, if I just want to put on a song to make me feel good, hanging out, chilling out, having a beer, relaxing, that's the type of music that's easy to sit back and chill to. That type
You feel
of
like
vibe.
when I hear it, I feel like I'm in a fucking like bar and there's a bunch of like line dancing and like boot slapping. It just feels like a good fucking like it's got a good rhythm to it. I don't know. It makes me feel good.
There you go. I liked it.
Yeah. What'd you give it?
8.5.
8.5. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep.
So there it is. Music of the day. Music of the day.
Top 100, top 5 for November 21st, 2024.
Well, but
Boozy.
Yep. That's the top.
Got that high of score.
Yeah. But I think we all learned, though, talking through this, that we didn't, listening to newer music, there was definitely some stuff in there that we all enjoyed. Everything for us was about average or above.
Yeah. Yeah. My lowest score was 5 because I was just like the one I disliked the most wasn't even that I disliked it. I was just, it did nothing. It didn't move the needle, but it was, I get what it was, with Sabrina Carpenter, I get what it's going for, what it's trying to do. So, but yeah, all were enjoyable.
I would be curious if I listened to him in a different order. Because I listened to Shabubi earlier. He was my first one, and I didn't, that put a sour taste in my mouth. If I would have started at 5, which was Teddy Swims, but I've already heard that. I was already going to give that I actually only listened to it because I wanted to hear it again because I enjoy it so much. So I wonder how I would have saw that, in a different order. I don't know. I mean,
If you don't
I'm
like it, you
not-
probably just
not
don't like it.
saying-
So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
I'm not saying Shabuzi
gave it a
would have been
2.
a wheelhouse at all. Actually, after listening to all the good ones, I probably would have given it a 0. Because I'm like,
Well,
I've already heard what good music is. Now
Yeah.
this horse shit, nothing.
I can't. It's hard for me to imagine. You can't. I can imagine you singing Shabuzi mowing the lawn at
Yeah.
singing at the top. It's that
Someone
type
pour
of
me a
vibe.
double shot of whiskey. Then
Yeah.
me and Jack Daniels
Insulting
got a
Kenny
Houston.
Rogers, sir, and I
There's
will
a
not
party
stand
down.
for this. Wow. All right. It is what it is, boys. We have modernized ourselves in one episode. Look at
That's
us.
right. That's right.
Ooh, Brian, can we start a fan club for Shabuzi called the Shaboysies?
Ooh, there you go.
I really like that for you too.
No,
I
you
like
can't be in it.
No, I don't want to be in it. But just to know that name and
You can't be a Shaboysies.
just to know that name exists, I'm a huge fan. I give your fan club a 10.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll settle for
There
that.
you go.
We'll take that.
There you go. Well, guys, we've wrapped up the top 5. Wrapped down. Is that a thing? Wrapped up the
down all
top
the time.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's time to wrap up this particular episode of the Convincing Idiots podcast.
That's right. Well, if you and Jack Daniels have a history and you need someone to pour you out a double shot of whiskey and you want to listen to a podcast, you need to listen to Convincing Idiots. That's right. The Shaboysies and
So
Dean.
much.
Hashtag Shaboysies.
If
Feel
that
free
ain't the name of this goddamn podcast, you've done something wrong.
Feel free to find us on all your favorite social media accounts. We are on the majority of them. You will simply find links to them by going to Google and typing Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE. I'm sorry, I was full disclosure.
And it
Fourth
makes sense.
wall here. I couldn't shake the fact that I looked down at my post-it note and forgot RPM Bike Shop. So there's no elegant way to put this in. But if you are
Never.
looking for a electric bike for yourself, you need look no further
Yep.
than our friends at RPM Bike Shop. They are located in Carrollton, Ohio. You can find them on Facebook by searching RPM Bike Shop. You can go to their website, rpmbikeshop.com, or give them a ring-a-ding at 330-808-7792. That's how you find RPM Bike Shop. But again, you find our link tree by going to Google and typing Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE. You can find all that information and so much more on our website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com.
One more thing before we go, before you sign out, Nick.
Insurance.
Nope. I just had a random question that came into my mind. That I
Shablake
don't know if
insurance.
this is, we're at the end of the podcast. Who knows who's listening? So, could I test something out? Give me
Sure.
one thing. We'll go real quick around the horn. Give me one thing you learned.
One thing I learned about the Agatha thing, like you blew my mind with the all the things in his room were things that he placed in the witch's road stuff, like that. Now I like need to go watch YouTube videos and like rewatch episodes. I feel like.
Tell you, new rock stars. Eric
Yeah.
Voss breaks it down.
Okay.
Brian,
Definitely learned some shit.
what did you learn this week?
I learned that there's some good new music out there that I enjoyed.
What'd you
Very
learn,
good.
Dean?
I learned that I don't want to be part of the Shaboysi fan club, but I am sure goddamn happy it exists.
Here, say, I learned that my friends have shitty taste in music.
No, I knew that. You can't relearn something.
We didn't even know who fucking Acid Bath was. Come on.
God, it
All right.
blows my mind.
God damn it.
Losers.
All right. Anyway, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I'm Millennial Nick.
I'm Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to open up your hearts and ears to some new music in your life and perhaps become a Shaboysi? Oh my good Lord. Someone pull me up and tell me something.
I quit.
Gen X Brian here. Zennial Dean. Millennial Nick. If you like our stuff, give us a like and subscribe, and we may just send you a Polaroid of Millennial Nick's feet.
Ham grape.
Thanksgiving is one of my more favorite holidays because there is no pressure on anything other than the mounting of the pressure of Christmas that looms. But it's not really, you know what I mean? Like Thanksgiving itself has no pressure. There's just it's go and eat and fucking watch football and chill out.
That's right.
It's a great day.
What's wrong with me? Because like I don't give a shit about the pressure. I enjoy the pressure of Christmas. I enjoy the whole.
You have a partner that helps buy gifts or like that takes care of. I am Megan. I have to buy for 85 different people. So it is a lot of fucking pressure.
That's fair.
And I want to enjoy it, but it's a lot.